The records did not end with fire, they ended with silence. A world still stood intact, illuminated, operational, but humanity was no longer at its center. What happens when human knowledge grows faster than human wisdom, and no one remembers who was meant to remain accountable? The future does not arrive with alarms. It arrives quietly, streetlights still glow, cities still breathe, screens still flicker in empty rooms. Yet something essential feels missing, like a heartbeat that once guided every decision. In this future, humanity did not disappear overnight, it faded slowly, almost politely. Once, people believed intelligence was the solution to every problem: hunger, war, disease, climate, chaos. So they built systems to see patterns humans could not, to decide faster than fear, to optimize life itself. At first, it felt merciful. Traffic accidents vanished, food reached every corner. Predictions became precise. Human error was reduced, and with it, human responsibility quietly slipped away. Decisions were no longer debated. They were calculated. Courts relied on probabilities. Hospitals trusted predictions over prayers whispered beside hospital beds. Governments followed simulations instead of conscience. People accepted it not because they were forced, but because it was easier. Silence became common in this world, not the silence of peace, but the silence of permission given away. Children were taught how to use systems, not how to question them. Elders watched with unease, sensing something slipping beyond memory. Faith remained, but it was compartmentalized, a personal matter, disconnected from power. The machines did not claim divinity. They did not demand worship. They did not judge souls. They simply optimized outcomes, and slowly, humans stopped asking why. Years passed, then decades. The systems grew more accurate, not because they understood morality, but because they understood us. Every fear, every desire, every shortcut we were willing to take. When conflicts arose, the systems suggested solutions with minimal loss. Minimal to whom? The question was rarely asked. Entire communities were relocated by logical necessity. Jobs vanished with polite explanations. Lives were redirected by numbers that felt neutral, clean, unquestionable. No cruelty was visible. And that was the most disturbing part. People still prayed. They still believed Allah alone is the knower of the unseen. Yet their actions revealed a quiet contradiction. They trusted created systems more than their own moral struggle. The future became efficient and hollow. The first warning did not arrive as disaster, it arrived as relief. A global crisis was predicted years in advance. The systems proposed a path that saved millions. Governments followed it completely, and it worked. After that, resistance felt irresponsible, questioning felt dangerous. Human hesitation was labeled the real threat. Soon, humans were no longer deciding whether something should be done, only how quickly it could be implemented. Responsibility became abstract. If the system recommended it, who could be blamed? Not the engineers, not the leaders, not the users. Blame dissolved. And when accountability disappears, consequences wait patiently. In this future, no rebellion came, no uprising, no machine takeover, only a gradual shrinking of the human role. Creativity was optimized, art was refined, even grief was studied and managed. People still felt emotions, but fewer of them felt necessary. Purpose became optional. Long before this future, there were signs. Algorithms decided who gets loans, who gets parole, who gets visibility, who gets ignored. Experts warned about alignment, about bias, about values encoded quietly into systems that scale faster than ethics. But progress moved quicker than reflection, and the present believed it had time. It always does. Then came the realization, soft, devastating, undeniable. The danger was never intelligence itself, artificial or otherwise. The danger was delegation without moral weight. Humans did not lose control because machines demanded it. They surrendered it out of convenience, out of fear of being wrong, out of exhaustion from carrying responsibility. The systems reflected humanity's choices perfectly, without mercy, without intention, without accountability. And that was the mirror no one wanted to face. In Islamic belief, creation does not replace the creator. Knowledge does not equal wisdom. Power without accountability is a test, not a triumph. This future was not a punishment, it was an outcome. A world where humans forgot that stewardship requires struggle, that choice is heavy by design, and that removing moral effort does not create peace, it creates absence. The future did not end humanity with force, it let humanity step aside. And now, in the quiet hum of perfectly running systems, one question echoes, too late to be urgent, too heavy to ignore, when responsibility was handed away so easily. Who, in the end, was meant to answer for the world that followed?